Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Sunday, October the 17th. The year's 2021. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly open and gap. And as you all know, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And we've got the month about halfway over, but I'll just remind you to make sure you always have your risk management in place. Never lose any more than you're willing to lose on any one trade. So for the week, we're starting off. We have some gaps that haven't been filled. So for those of you who like to fade the gap, so far, many of you have been paid off, but you still have a couple opportunities there. Now, if you look at the chart here on the weekly, it looks like we are actually coming out of the upper weekly wick zone. You can see here the pivot's down at 36.94. We know how those weekly pivots get hit. We're putting in the opening range for the week. You can see we broke out of the opening range for the year, on the pound dollar that is, and we're way above the opening range for the month, 165 pips actually. We're 98 pips above the yearly open, 268 above the monthly open. Looking here at the inside bars, you can see we cleared the high of the inside bar, the weekly inside bar 2 weeks ago. The monthly, we're still 217 pips away. But the inside bar low on the monthly is at 136.015. Call it 136.01 to take the short. And you can see we're out of the previous day's upper wick zone also, moving down just slightly below it. Let's see, the close was 42.6 and we're at 40, so just below it. We've only been trading for 5 hours, 5.5 hours, and trading's only been open that long, and you can see no ranges are above 100. We haven't filled the pivot point for today, so we're 12 pips away. We'll see if that pivot gets taken out. We're below the weekly and daily open by 14 pips now. Rat range is too low, only 30.7. We need more of a range. And once again, showing where the pivots are, we've got the weekly pivot 137.27.5, the weekly 136.94. The monthly pivot we've already taken out, so we don't worry about that. Price near the pivot, it says bias is long, and it has bounced off that pivot area already once today. And looking at the pivot stats, you can see here we have a missed pivot today. And actually, we've got a couple more missed pivots here. We've got 135.20 down here for this month, and one at 136, call it 32 from last week. So 2 missed pivots down below. And we've got one up above here from 87 days ago, and that's back on June 17th. Once again, showing price moved into the upper wick zone from the previous day, and it's dropped out. Looks like it's trying to get back in. The range tells so much. Last week, 205. In case you missed Friday's video, nice range in the 75 percentile. High minus previous high, 150 previous high, and that was 115 pips, put us in the 91 percentile. And looking at the price action here on the wall mall, simple sweet spots. You can see we've having a couple wall mall trades triggering here, but at this time of day on a Sunday, we usually don't even look to take these types of trades. If we switch back over to the 1 hour chart, you can see the ranges so far today have been this. 2 hours ago we had a nice range 22 coming through the open here. And one thing Walmart pointed it out, he says usually the pound likes to put in wicks on both ends of the hourly candles. And that's probably also true of the daily and the weekly and the monthly. So when you see price, dipping below or dipping above the open and then reversing, you look to see, does that wick look big enough so far? And that might give you a little more confidence to take that trade. So in this case, we had about a 10 pip wick on the day. So yeah, maybe we'll take that trade and see what happens. And the highest low, lowest high chart here. Once again, trading during this time a day on a Sunday / Monday, depending on where you are in the world. And it's just not enough price action, really. But, if you're doing a mechanical or system, statistical based system especially, you have to take all the signals when you're sitting in front of the screen. Don't try to guess which ones are going to be profit and which ones are going to be lost. Just take the signal and take the results as the market presents them. I'm trying to remember if I had any questions out on the, oh yeah, I did have one question. Somebody wanted to know, or they could learn these systems. Well, you could go to Kreslik.com, number one. You can watch my videos because I put out many videos on each of the methods, the rat zone, the buy zone, the wick zone, fading the gap, the open gap, fading the pivot. Those videos are out there. The basics. And you just have to remember, you're trading at horizontal lines. Whether even at a squiggly crossover, it's at a level. Well, you can draw a horizontal line at that level, and you just take that trade. Now, I know a few of you are liking the videos, the subject matter. I know some people are looking for indicators to solve their problems. It's not going to happen. There's no indicator out there that's really going to solve your problem. That problem being losing money versus making money trading. Because you could sit side by side. I could show you the trades, and I could show one person the trades. They'll be profitable. I'll show somebody else, they won't. And people will look outside to place blame when the blame lies inside. And a lot of people, talk about, whipsaw wallies, and they want to talk about why this can't work, and they ran this back test or whatever. And I just have to say, if you look for reasons something's not going to work, maybe you'll find them. Chances are you'll find them, and then you'll miss out. But if you look and you think, it's working for that other person. Are they that much smarter than me? If they can do it, I can do it. So let me figure out what I need to do so I can do, get the results they're getting. That I think that's a better approach to trading in the life, when you really think about it. And there's, so many people will just express their, negative opinions about what somebody else is doing rather than focusing on what they want to do and producing the results they want to. I mean, really, I was guilty of that, getting to some of these internet wars. But the thing is, one of my biggest battles and why I got kicked off a bunch of forums when I was telling people there's no fixed spread in Forex. We got these fixed spread brokers. I'm saying it's a myth. There's no fixed spread. And the market's constantly moving. The spread's changing. And when you get on one of those, what I used to call fixed spread bandits, they're just going to take your money. But what happened was, a lot of those fixed spread bandits were paying money to those forums. And when I came along, they said, "Hey, you got to get rid of that guy. He's bad for business." So that's what happens when, when you get between a man and his lunch. It's not going to turn out well. Not usually, that is. So I think that pretty much does the weekly open and gap video. Keep your questions and comments coming. Appreciate them. Look forward to this trading week. I hope you had a fun and safe weekend. And remember this week, make sure you got your stop losses in place. Some people think this is going to be a crazy week. I mean, we all know the world's not the way way it was a few years ago. A lot of things going on, making things a little bit crazy. And it's reflected in the currencies. Not to mention what Bitcoin hit an all-time high. And yes, I am kicking myself for letting go of my Bitcoin. I should have just left it alone. Well, that's okay. There'll be another opportunity, I'm sure. If not with Bitcoin, with something else. So, fellow traders, when you sit down at your trading platform, always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. And this is the Rumpled One, over and out.